Tawd, I'm not the type of person that usually gets involved in drama, and I certainly don't give a shit what people think of me personally. But I've made videos that I'm sure you feel are attacking you and your character. I apologize to you if I've miscategorized you or contributed to discrediting your reputation. Obviously, I don't know your true intentions, Tawd, but I'd like to think that you are a good dude that's just getting caught up in other people's games. God knows it's not hard to do. I'd like to give you the benefit of the doubt one more time and step back some of the things I have said about you to allow myself to get rid of any previous judgments I had about you. The idea that you were knowingly involved in a campaign to discredit certain people or certain groups on the internet. The thing is, I know that there really are chaos agents out here that do have nefarious intent, and I see them on your panel and in your chat on a regular basis. I don't expect you to just trust me and go against the only people who have supported you, so I won't even begin to name anyone specifically. But I just wanted to offer a different perspective so you are completely aware of a possible scenario that's not easy to see from your vantage point. I think you are just being used by people who care more about making others look bad than they care about Tawd Bryant and how they make you look. These people are ruthless and don't care who they hurt or who have to manipulate to achieve their goal. They've already fed you lies about me that aren't even hard to expose, but yet you have repeated their lies, doing their dirty work without even realizing it. If you are really after the truth and you are really the good guy you claim to be, then you should understand where I'm coming from once you learn some of the stuff that I've been going through for the past 5 years. So I figured it wouldn't hurt to share this info with you since it's not always easy to know who to believe. I hope this enlightens you a bit and helps you to separate the wheat from the chaff in your own circle. Feel free to ask me anything about my situation and I'll be more than happy to provide receipts and explain anything you are unsure about so that you can have a better idea of who may be feeding you false info and who you can trust. You can keep it all between us or tell the world for all I care, but we both know that you're no dummy, Tawd. So keep in mind that your response to this, or lack of, will certainly answer any questions that I still have about your actual true intentions. More information could only assist you at this point. Hell, maybe you can use the opportunity to redeem yourself with some other good people out there and reduce the amount of personal attacks that you have been dealing with. I know better than most what it's like to carry that kind of burden without breaking. It's not easy, and I give you credit for the patience and restraint that you use daily. So this is a basic summary of my testimony to explain why I have the attitude that I do when it comes to some of these generally specific topics. Several of my constitutional rights were violated, from a warrantless no-knock entry into my apartment and illegal detainment in 2021. They broke in, unannounced, and arrested me at gunpoint in front of my 12-year-old child without a warrant or even probable cause for that matter. I was criminally charged with several crimes which were all eventually dismissed, but not before it was posted on every news channel and social media possible. If you Google John Hofer Patton, Pennsylvania right now, you will see a news story with my picture on a wanted ad and the false charges and libel right underneath. Before the statute of limitations ran out for a federal lawsuit, I sent certified letters of intent to sue Patton and Hastings Police Departments as well as a copy to the PA Attorney General's office and got receipt of acceptance back from each one. I have yet to hear anything back from any of them. Here's the short version of the story. This was all due to the fact that I have legitimate evidence that proves criminal police misconduct. I called the FBI a couple years ago and they just blew me off and hung up on me. I reported the stalking and harassment to the county DA's office around the same time and they told me to call and report it to the state police. When I tried to do that, they just played this game where one place would tell me to call the other place and vice versa. So I tried to report it to the Attorney General's office and never heard anything back. I am guessing they just blocked my report from ever making it to the AG's office, just like they were preventing calls and voicemails from getting to me. They actually hacked my online account to the Megan's Law website because I was signed up to get notified anytime my brother Henry had any changes at all, but never got them. But I would get the alerts about anyone else in my area, and when I regained access to my account, my brother was still listed as one of my tracked offenders. The state police officer I talked to said I should have gotten at least 2 or 3 email alerts about my brother and couldn't explain how that could have possibly happened or why I wouldn't have gotten the alerts. They also pretended that the apartment next to mine was vacant for almost a year. I determined that there was nobody living there. The maintenance guy and the property manager were in on the whole thing, along with the mailman and most of my neighbors. They did so many things to let me know without a doubt that they could see me inside my own apartment. One of my neighbors told me that she worked for the local drug task force, and I personally heard the chief of police from the next town over on her voicemail twice. I started warning my friends and people I cared about to stay away from her, and that's when my targeting started. Then one day, she was dead, and all the people involved acted really weird and demonstrated how bad of actors they really are. I don't know if that woman is really dead or if she is in some witness protection program or something, but a lot of details just don't add up. I have evidence that they actually intercepted my Amazon packages when I purchased new phones, and they must have sent me their own devices. I did a return on one of the iPhones I bought, and after I sent the phone back, they would refund me. I put an empty box addressed to my mom's house in the mail and made sure people watched me do it to make them think that I sent that iPhone back. I got an email a couple days later from the seller saying they got the tracking info and issued my refund. Problem was, I still had the iPhone that was originally sent to me. Someone sent them a device back once they thought I mailed out a package with the pre-printed shipping label on it. So they must have had a copy of the label that was emailed to me and used it to send the original device I ordered back to the seller. I was blown away, so to be sure, I reached out to the seller and asked them if they received a physical device back from me, and they confirmed that they did. The iPhone that was sent to me was in my apartment that they trespassed me from, so they were able to cover that part up, but there's no explanation for the rest. I still have the correspondence from the Amazon seller. After I talked about this on my YouTube channel for the first time, Officer Dealhole tried to kill me again. The very next day, to be exact. I'm pretty sure that's why they tried to kill me when they broke into my apartment and arrested me at gunpoint in front of my son when he was 1 too. They just didn't plan on my son being there to record the whole thing and preventing their dumbasses from killing me. I tell him all the time how he saved my life, but they gaslight him all the time to think I'm crazy, so I'm not sure if he realizes the gravity of the whole thing. He's starting to realize just how smart his dad is and how crazy these people are. He's definitely still traumatized to this day from when the police, unannounced, broke into his home, pointing their guns at us like crazy people, and arresting his dad without any good reason, and without a warrant. They also did so me really crazy shit when I went to Sam's Club to get all new iPhones for me, my son and my daughter. I've never seen so many gang stalkers in one place in my life. We were gonna send in our old phones to get trade-in value, so I even bought 2 refurbished iPhone 8s from Amazon just to turn in for the trade-in value because they gave us more credit for them than they cost. Then after we placed the order and spent almost $1,000 towards 4 new iPhone 12s, someone pretending to be me called and cancelled the order, and the transaction disappeared as if it never happened. I still have the actual original order form I got the day we did it. I have so much evidence to prove that I've been illegally surveilled and targeted by a bunch of people that work in law enforcement or local government, and by people who are employed by the Cambria County Courthouse. I don't have any evidence to suggest that this is some huge federal conspiracy or anything. More like a bunch of local people just abusing their power and doing shady shit to cover their ass.